So, what is going on, YouTube? It's your boy Sam from Team Sam X here. Today, who am I with?
Jesse Kotton.
Jesse, how are you doing today, man?
I'm doing all right.
All right, Jesse, what's the goo today, man? What's the goo?
We got a Pure Fan Night deck profile.
Pure Fan Nights. Okay, so why do you decide to play this deck?
I think it's pretty good. It has strong combos, strong grind game, and it's fun. It's one of the first decks I did well with was BAPK, so very happy to be playing something similar again. I wish the BAs were good enough to play, but I don't think they are. So right now it's just Pure Fan tonight.
Okay, awesome. Okay, and do you have anything else you want to say before we get started with the video?
Shout outs to my team, Game Nation. We're in the store right now.
Yep.
And then also shout outs to the coaching service that I help run, and it's Duels Academy.
All right, guys, check out Duels Academy, guys. Link down below. All right, Jesse, let's do it.
So Phantom Nights, I do just play 3 of all of the ones that do something. So it's just 12 PKs, which are all really good. Any normal summon gets you to Dragoon a minimum, so it's very nice that you can either combo these with other cards and you get farther, or even by themselves, you're always doing something. So that's kind of nice about them. And then this does a lot by itself. So yeah, these are very cool. Pretty standard for Phantom Knight deck. And then I'm playing some Warrior cards in my deck. So I have 2 Red Layer, 2 Flints. They're pretty similar in how good they are, so I don't play 3 of any of them. I play 2 to not draw multiples. You want to play a level 1 though to summon off Ice Souls, which is why it's decent in this combos with hand traps to end on a good field. So, and then what you summon off Ice Souls, but I guess you don't if you already draw. If you draw this, you'll summon this. But if you Ice Souls, it's going to summon this, which can add back the quick spell you send with Ice Souls, which I'll show you guys in a bit. And then this deck can play a lot of hand traps and still be very consistent. So I got these in my deck right now. You should not play Impermanence deck because of the Phantom Knight Shade Brigandine. So I don't play that card. That's why I have the Veilers instead. You actually end up using Veiler in one of the combos, which I can show you guys later.
Nice.
And then to top off the monsters, we got 2 legendary monsters.
Nice. Horizon Dark Magician. Really good.
One Call by the Grave. This card is pretty good right now. Hit Hieratic Seal, Hail the Arclight, Hand Traps, Miscellaneous Source. Hits everything. 1 Red Ice Fusion for these. And then we got 3 Cosmic Cyclones. There's Bustle Lock, there's Mystic Mind, there's Lost World, there's Schism, there's Ice Prison, there's Punishment. There's a lot of back row in the format. This card's good. And then we got Rhoda. And then I got Equip Spells, 2 Durendals. They're not really important which Warrior standards you play, but again, just don't want to draw multiples of the same one. So I got these in here. And you also wanted more Equip Spells in case I draw this with Ice Soul. So this is what I send out Ice Soul, and then you can add back with Renaud. This is the 2 extend pretty far, because you can just use your PKs, get them back, and it's very strong. That's all the spells. One thing you'll note is that I don't play Foolish in here. That's because, honestly, you get to all your Phantom Knights very easily, and then after that Foolish just does nothing. And they were just better cards to play.
Nice. Okay.
And then for the Phantom Knight cards, it's 3 Fogblade and 2 Shade Brigandine. So Shade obviously can use to start your combo, or as an extender that you start mid-combo. So that's nice. And then I play 2 just in case you need to trigger your Bardiche another time. And these are all gone, which sometimes they are. And it is like really fine to draw because you don't play Imperm. So the main deck is 45 cards. You can play less. The biggest reason I play more, though, is because you can make it still consistent with over 40, but you have less chance of drawing these cards. And these cards are so strong, but they are so bad to draw.
All right.
So I just wanted to lower my chance of drawing these cards.
Okay, so 45, the perfect number.
Yeah, even, but honestly, 45 or 46, like, it doesn't actually make a difference. 45 just sounds cleaner. So I got 4 Link ones, which you wouldn't think are in this deck, but they are. Link ones are dumb, so I'll show you guys these uses later. And then, oh yeah, for any Phantom Knight, you can just go normal summon Phantom Knight, make Amirage, search Shade Brigandine, summon it, make Spider, link these into Anaconda, and then that's just very easy to do. Yeah, so you can almost always end on at least that. And then yes, 2 Anaconda. This deck needs Dark Link 2s to make into Rusty Bardiche. So you play 2 of these, that way you have an extra Dark Link 2. Also, if you summon this again in Beard, you can often make a second one, which is nice. So that's why I play 2 of these. Also, you can make something dark, which comes up in one specific variation of the combo. The House of Fibrax may not seem like a play tuners, but there are plenty of times where this comes up to help you extend. or to play when you have like red layer plus 4 hand traps. Isold, which is really, really broken, of course. You can maybe play 2 with this card. It's definitely live. It's just the light is not the best, and when it sits on the field, it's not the greatest unless you can get to level 1. And then I play Barricade. It's another Dark Link 2. This one's more generic and iconic because you use tokens. Phoenix, Link 2, and then obviously I play Rusty. And then I play Boral Sword, Mouse Link monster, just to have the bomb monster in case they break my field. They often won't have much defense. This is how I kill them. And then I got my Dragoon. I got 2 Xyzs. I got not Boral Sword, Break Sword, and Evil Soul Nightmare. This is good going first, because oftentimes you'll summon this and blow itself up and then make Nightmare. So that's kind of how you're going to end your combos. You don't need Zeus because oftentimes you can't really get an Xyz to attack, which kind of sucks. So you want to play like a different type of Xyz, like Zen Mains or Nightmare Shark. And it's just 2 spots, wasn't worth it for me, so I don't play Zeus there. And then also I found that
like Arc Rebellion, you don't have any of that?
Yeah, Arc Rebellion wasn't as good as Evil Sword Nightmare, and other cards like Boral Sword and Dragoon were better at OTKing. And then I found Levier kind of just didn't do much. Like it lets you get resources back for next turn, but because the deck was so strong anyways, you didn't need those resources. And it doesn't actually net you an extra monster because you use 2 monsters to make it, then you get 1 back. So your net amount of monsters stays the same, which isn't actually helpful for your combos. It just means your next turn is stronger, but oftentimes it's very insignificant.
So like you don't play Tour Guide, no BA agent,
no Tour Guide because the deck has so many normal summons as is. Normal summoning any Phantom Knight's amazing because if you get hand trapped with the Phantom Knight's engrave, function is extenders or Fog Blades to make sure you're not unprotected. You're always going to have some sort of protection. Your opponent can't just. It's not like Dragons where if your opponent Nibiru's you and you don't have any plays, you just pass with nothing. You should always have something going for you. If your hand is all extenders, you can play on pretty much every hand trap. That deck is very good at that. And if your hand is a mix of hand traps and combo cards, then no matter what, you're going to have some stuff. And you can search Fog Blades so easily as well. And what's nice as well is once you get to a Rusty, all your Fog Blades can now revive the Rusty, which restarts everything. So they have to stop you fairly early on, and at which point it's way easier to extend through that. And if they stop you later, it's very easy to bounce back because of Fog Blade reviving Rusty. So say I start off with Phantom Knights like this, and I have 3 other cards. So say I have 3 copies. Nice hand.
Nice hand, yep.
So special red layer, normal cloak, and I can link these away. And I'm getting Isold. Here I'd probably just search a red layer, so I can do it via next turn, or discard it for BDR. You always want to check to see if you lose to droll though. If you get drolled, oftentimes it doesn't matter. Here it's not the biggest deal if I get drolled, so I think like even if I can't use this, it's okay. Then after that, I will send my DDR to summon Renaud. And then, okay, that's back my DDR, so you can see I now have a lot of free monsters to work with. This is kind of like the point of the deck is when you get to spots like this, because this is kind of leading into where all your combos are going to look kind of similar from this kind of point, with some variations being a little stronger. So I make Karibo, and then cross, and I'm only going to summon 1 token, because if it playing against Dino, I don't have a token in the field. What's really nice with this combo too against Dino is you're going to have Karibo engraved, so Lost Field doesn't do anything. And then I can link these away, and I'm going to make my generic link 2 here. And I can tribute this, turning back Karibo. So you can kind of notice here if they had a Nibiru, they couldn't Nibiru pretty much until after the Isold effect resolved. At which point, if they do, you still have Cloak and DDR, so you can go very far. Like, you're not actually concerned about it. And if they don't do anything here, this just becomes Rusty. So it's extremely easy to get where you want to. And then I can kind of do what I want here. Like, I can send my Torn Scale and set a card. So say I want to set this Fog Blade's probably fine. And I can banish Cloak to search my Boots, which is another free monster for me. The Torn Scale then comes back, and then this comes back as well. And I can actually, what I can do with these.
You're not going to activate Torn Scale's effect?
I don't need to. I'd rather just keep the cards in my hand. I can rather just make with these into Break Sword and pop itself with a Bardiche. And then this revives too. So I can still use it again if I want to, but I don't really need to. And then I can DDR, discard the red layer, bring this back. And these can make Anaconda. And I can banish the boots now. And the DDR is gone. Search the shade, summon it. And because it's level 4 because of Break Sword, this makes Evil Swarm Nightmare. And this can make Dragoon. That's a pretty standard opening, and you have the Fog Blade, a Dragoon Negate, the 2 books, and the Break Sword's in the grave as well, which means when this Fog Blade leaves the field, you can banish it to revive Break Sword into the Bardiche Arrow. And because an Exceed is summoned, so it's arrow, you pop a card. So you have a pop, 2 books, negate, which very easy to do on so few cards.
So like 5 disruptions total.
Yeah. Kind of like one of Steven's old fields
Yeah.
that he made, where you just throw a bunch of random negates down, and it's very efficient.
So this is basically like any 2 warriors will get you this.
Yeah, you can get to it very consistently. So if you have just Hulk of Fibrax as well, you can do a similar thing where, so say you had red layer normal summon Ash, you can normal summon Valor, a special Valor outfit, make Karibo, and you're gonna do the exact same thing with Cross, and then you make Barricade, bring back the token, and you have Bardiche. So it's really easy to turn pretty much any Link 2 into Bardiche because of these, which is incredible. Very, very strong combo together. They're so stupid. And then something cool that happens as well is when you draw the Renaud or you have Durendal as an extra extender, Isold is going to summon Flint, and then you can summon Renaud from your hand. So it becomes a tuner, which means that when this becomes Karibo and this becomes Cross, you can make this in Hulk of Fibrax. That's going to be really cool here. And say you summon the Valor, I can turn the Valor and the Karibo into Anaconda. Tribute the token to bring back the Karibo. So this is my field now. I make him, Anaconda makes this dark.
Wow.
And I haven't used any Phantom Knights yet.
Wow.
So the whole point is, if they Nibiru here, I don't care. I can revive the Fog Blade and make a second Anaconda into the exact same field.
Wow.
So you actually have a lot of flexibility.
Wow. Okay, so basically, like you said, your Link monsters are able to get you into 2 generic darks, basically.
Yeah,
it
really lets you make Bardiche extremely efficiently, which is the whole point. Once you get to Bardiche, your grind game is strong, and your fields are typically pretty good. And the fact that you can pair it with so many hand traps means that you're typically in a very good position to win the game. Like this deck played 12 hand traps and 3 cosmics, so you have 15ish flex spots, which is perfect for a deck because it means you can like reasonably beat a lot of these combo decks when you go second, especially post side when you're starting using more cards. And going first, it's very consistent, even if it's just a Dragoon, because you open 1 Phantom Knight and that's it. Very easy to do.
And then the rest would just be hand traps.
Yeah, and if you draw in Warrior Extender, you can see, I just showed you where it goes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Jesse, thank you so much for this awesome deck profile, man. What would you call this deck? Just like pure Phantom Knights?
Pure Phantom Knights, people say Noble Knight and Phantom Knights. I don't like that though, because it's like 1 Renaud and 1 Isold. Like, it's not really, and I guess 2 Durendal, but I'd say it's pure Phantom Knights, because I really just focus on pushing out Bardiche as fast as possible and utilizing it to its full potential.
Yeah. And how do you feel about this card getting unbanned?
I don't think it should have been unbanned. Like, it really is a very, very strong card with a lot of free advantage and disruption. Like, yeah, I think like we very likely to see a spot where the rank of magics also become a problem, where you can make some sort of floodgate effect off it. So I don't think it'll lead somewhere good. Like, even in the fact that you don't go rank of magic, just going Bardiche alone means you get an extra 3 and a 4 on the field, because you can send Cloak, set Shade, activate Shade, search Boots, and the Boots search Fog. But there's so much like that can make you like. We had the wrong Miniad before. What if you just make like a random rank 3 and a random rank 4 and search Fogblade? It's pretty good. So it can get you pretty far for 1 card. Typically, the Phantom Knights may be bricks, but like in this deck, they're not. The whole deck is Phantom Knights. So exactly. I don't know. I think the card's like really good, and it probably shouldn't have come back. But I understand why they wanted to push products.
Okay, awesome. Jesse, do you have anything else you want to say before we end off this video?
Yeah, so make sure to check out some of the other decks that myself and some other pro players have made on Ghost Academy, our YouTube, or our Patreon, or our Twitch.
Okay, awesome. I'll leave the links down below. All right, Jesse, thank you so much for the deck profile. This is your boy Sam from Team Star Sam signing out. All right, guys, peace.
sure to get your playmat today at tsx1.com.